Guys, I just call that I'm not recording. Okay, so we could also do that here. Change the colors, and then we could also work with alignment. Remember, alignment is also another key thing we'll have to do when we're designing. So maybe if you are doing vertical alignment, so do you want to align it to the left? Do you want to align it to the left? Each of them. So let me do that again. So what you see here, now align the text itself. The text on the text box, like these are text box. I've aligned it to the left. Now I want to align these two, this text box and this text box. There are two different ones. I want to align them to the left. So I come to position and I click on this left. So they are both aligned to the left. Okay. So these are the different properties. So you can play around with other properties and check them out. Okay. Then again, we have projects. Now these are, if you're working using Canva for your business, this could be very, very helpful. So yeah, it helps to see, it helps you to create a folder and also put in your work, a different work. So you have all the works you've worked on and create a folder so that you could actually easily figure out where you have your different jobs you've worked on Canva. Then you have background. You can look for any background, let's say white background. So Canva gives you different backgrounds. You just place it there like that. Maybe here, my text here, it's my image here, just create balance. Then again, we have different properties you can work on here. You can crop it, you can even edit here, you can even edit your image, you can edit it to different, so there are a lot of different styles here, but one of them I like using the most will be shadows. Okay, so you can create a form of shadow, and I think, let me go back to my design. Yeah, see, so look at this design. Let me go to my uploads. So this image was not what I look like in terms of color. Let me look for my image. Okay, so this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like. Yeah, so what I did, so this is an image, okay? This is an image. So I went to edit, and first thing I played with the shadows. So you can, with images, you can create a form of shadow. So I created the shadow. I think it was this shadow. The shadow. So I worked also on this, the dual tone. No, it wasn't dual tone I used, it was photogenic. Yeah, it was photogenic I used. So I tried to look for, and this is, it creates a form of harmony between it's still cool like this, but I wanted it to just kind of blend. I just want to tune it to blend with the color of the background. So I think I used, I think it was, yeah, I think this Tundra I used. Yes, and then you could edit it, go there. It might not be this, but I think it was one of these. So I just clicked on it and edited it. And then again, I also went to shadow, added shadow. Yeah, and also you can also edit the shadow. Maybe you don't want it to be too much, just use the transparency. You can increase the blur, transparency too much. So you can play around your shapes, okay? So again, what I'm just trying to say is that each of these elements has properties you can work around. So I can flip this, I can even flip it. So I don't want it to go like this. I want it to go the other way around. So I can flip it horizontally. I can also flip it vertically. Obviously, this does not make any sense. So I could flip it. Then if I want to animate, we can be using this, but we are not doing animation. And then we could also reduce the transparency. We could also work around the transparency. Yes, I think pretty much that is way around Canva. And then after you're done with your design, you can always So this button, okay, let me talk about this. So you could always rename your design so that when you're looking for your design, you can always rename it, come here and then just type on what you want the name of your design to be, give it a name. Then you could also add other persons. Like I told you, it's a collaborative tool. You could add other people. So type in their name or their emails and then send it to them. They can now join you, invite them and they can join you. Okay, then again, you can share. Then this is for if you're using Canva, you can actually link your Canva to help you use Canva to share your designs online. We're not going to that. Then you can also share. So share means one, is it you want to share the template so that somebody, maybe I did design, and that is where I love Canva very well. So I design for a client, I just share a template with them. They can use it again and again. Okay, so maybe I could show you. Okay, let's not get into that now. So not deviated. So they could use it, just share the template with them, and they could use the design over and over again. And what's the interesting thing is that, so let me show you here. So you see template link. So you just copy the template link, give it to them. So that copy is different from what you have here. So their copy, you could change the copy. It won't affect your own design. Okay? As against when you share this link. If you share this link with them, whatever they're doing would affect your design. So if they deleted something here from their end, it will also be deleted. Yeah, so that's a different. Again, over here, you can also download. You can also download it. There are different file type. You have PNG, you have JPEG, you have PDF, you have SVG, and other different file type you can work out here and just download Canva. Okay. So I think that is pretty much what Canva overview. Since we already are used to Canva, so there's no need trying to tell us how to log into Canva and start from scratch. So, but as with time goes on, while we'll be doing proper designs, we'll start looking for how we could also get other elements and also play around with the elements. I think that will also integrate the three things we've learned: the elements, the principles, and also understanding the Canva interface. Okay, so before I go into other things, I would like to know, do you have any question?
So someone is asking, what is the best format to download your work? I usually have that issue too. Like, should I use PNG? Should I use PDF? I just need the best that was so clear and sharp, like the way it was on Canva. So when you're sending to the client, it will be clear like the way it was saved. So I think I used to have that challenge too.
Okay, so you could download your work in PNG or JPEG. Both of them work fine, but just that PNG actually helps if your work has to be in a transparent background, so you could use PNG. But if you're not considering putting your work in a transparent background, then PNG, both of them, either PNG or JPEG, will work. Now, what would make your design come out sharp and clear is your resolution. Okay, so it depends on what you're using for your starting. First of all, what you're starting with your design. So is your design, so the normal size for an Instagram is 1080 pixel by 1080 pixel. If you now use something like 100 pixel by 100 pixel or something lower, much lower than that, definitely when you download your work, the resolution will be very low. Okay, so you want to consider the size. Okay. You want to consider the size of your document that affects the quality of your output. I hope that helps. So do we have another question? Any other question, please? Okay, so in the absence of no questions, so let's do a rundown these two guys. Let me bring up these two and let's see. Yeah. So let me bring up this design. This is the assignment that was done. So we are going to go through these designs and see what principles we observe. So now we've considered all of that principles. Let's see for which principle was observed, which principle was not observed. What do you think could be done better before I move into design principles? Yes. So looking at this design, yeah, what do you think? What is going on? What principles are not being observed here? Yes, I'm throwing the question to the house. We are eight in the, yeah, we are 8 participants here. So let's say something.
I don't. Okay.
Okay, go ahead, Jude. Okay, if Jude is not stuck, if not, Owen, can you go on?
All right. There's a terminology you use, the design element, but I cannot really place that terminology here. But it's not properly centered. Like it's not. The arrangement is not aligned very well, and the picture, like what's going on in the picture. The picture, there's no frame. It's just there, and the design, I feel like it's not so busy, but it's not really telling what it's trying to. The design is too busy, yes, but the person tried in the color arrangement and everything, but looking at the time, the Saturday, it was not properly centered. If you want it to align, that go a little bit to the left hand side so they can arrange with the HR mentorship, design thinking, and all of that. I think those are one of my observations. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you so much, Owen. So I want someone else to talk about it.
That for me, the contrast between her her image, and she's wearing a brown and white shirt, then on a purple background, it just doesn't blend. There's no blend between the image and the color of the background.
Okay. Okay. Do you have a point there, but that's not actually, because definitely what they're trying to use here, they're using white, a brown color, and the purple. And I can actually see a good contrast there. It's clear. It's the purple and the brown is readable. Where contrast is actually having issues. If you look here, I don't know what is going on, whether it's a name or you're trying to write something here. Then you see there's no cohesiveness, no balance. Everything is just scattered. It's not properly arranged. And then first thing is the alignment. There's no alignment here. You just see, okay, are we giving a left vertical alignment? So let all these things be arranged. And then there's no hierarchy. Each arrow mentorship, even this design thinking is almost the same size with this. So where's hierarchy? And over here, okay, center alignment, but yeah, it's just hanging. So the thing is just busy. Everything is just not being positioned. You do not see any sort of cohesiveness there. Okay, so looking at this design now, let's talk about, okay, I think what I would do, let's talk about, first of all, each of these principles first. So let's talk about contrast. Is there contrast in the design? Do we see contrast?
Not really, because it's just plain black, except that, yeah, just plain black with the bull eye image. But I don't see contrast. I thought you were saying contrast in terms of the wellness in green and, is it orange, burnt orange? But I don't see any contrast aside that, if that's what we have called contrast.
Okay, so does anyone have a contrary opinion or share the same sentiment?
What's it, like? I feel like there's no story. Like, what's the person trying to portray? What's with the pointing the dots? Like, it's not telling the story. First of all, what the person is trying to advertise? 70 days holy wellness challenge. What is it with the pointing circles? It's not telling a story. The colors that was chosen is not being resonating. The alignment is not properly arranged because it's too like come to the middle, like it's not properly arranged. And first of all, the first word they wrote there, I cannot even read it before 70 days holy. I know it's trying to be creative, but then I can't read it. You understand? And when the
Okay.
person put the logo, I don't know if that's a logo, catalyst, it's too down. At least you can go a bit up so that you can divide from what he's trying to the context of what the body
So,
is. Yeah.
hold on, Owen. Hold on, Owen. So I'm trying to go over the principles one after the other. I'm talking about contrast now. So let's stick to that first. Is it readable? Is there contrast? Is it so? When we talk about contrast, we're talking about the fact that it is readability. So we have a dark element at the background and also a light element at the top. So does it follow that principle of contrast? That is what I want us to talk about now. Did you get me once? Yeah, I'm throwing the question to you. Is there contrast, first of all? Let's talk about that first. Do you see contrast in the design?
As for me, I don't think there's contrast since they said contrast is visible and difference is property of the design element. So I don't think there's contrast there.
Sorry, come again with that.
Because something is not visible. Since contrast is visible in difference of the design element, maybe the color, the shape, and the size. So everything is contradicting the rest. So the contrast is not visible there. It's
So
not visible.
when you say it's not visible, what is not visible?
The color.
Okay, which of the color?
The background.
Okay, so I think we actually are misunderstanding some things here. So when we say contrast, we're talking about, let me go back to this and try to explain here. So yeah, so this is it. So this was what I explained contrast to be. So there's a visual difference between one element and another element. Okay, so this is in the text contrast, and then the element beneath it is the rectangle, has a lighter background. So you have a dark text and a light background. Okay, over here we have a light text and a dark background. Okay, so it's visible, there's readability, you can read it. So I also think over here, there's contrast. So the way we don't have contrast is actually this wellness challenge, especially this wellness, because it looks kind of dim. But then I think the designer is just trying to play around colors and just look for a way to look for other colors. But then there's contrast. Yeah, there's actually contrast. It's clear. They have a dark background. I don't know what's the choice of using a black background. Okay, but then the text is white. So you have this white and the dark background. So there's actually contrast. There's this in terms of contrast. So we're looking at this element individually. In terms of contrast, yeah, there's contrast, except maybe if you're telling me this wellness and challenge, where it is not, if you're looking at it from afar, you may not see this at first glance. Okay, so there's actually contrast. Okay. Then another thing again, the alignments. Okay, so alignments, yeah, you maybe some text were not just totally aligned, but then if you look at the arrangements here, you can see that yes, to some degree they are using a vertical alignment, vertical left alignment. Okay, except maybe some few text that is fit, that is not just is not aligned to the dot, to the T again. But then yes, there's alignment here. Okay, there's actually alignment. Okay. Then if you also look at balance, okay, there's a text going on the right-hand side. So there's an element on the right-hand side and also some form of element on the left-hand side. So it creates this visual balance. Okay, so there's actually balance. Okay, so that is it for that design. So again, here, in terms of contrast, do we agree there's contrast in this design?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So in terms of alignment, do we agree there's alignment?
Yes.
Yes.
And what's Yes, so yeah, thank you. That was what about I was about asking what type of alignment. Again, again, do you see is there balance?
Yeah, there's a balance.
Okay, so yeah, where do you think there's balance here? Yeah, or just from your own understanding of balance, what's
The content, the type, what's it called? The copy text, there's a balance there. It's probably aligned with the lines. You know, there's a line under the copy.
yeah,
So I feel like
okay. Does anybody want to share more lights on this too? Hello? Trust, I know this is your assignment, but you can also say something. Aziz, you want to talk? I've not heard your voice again. Okay, let me move on. So there's balance, and where I wanted us to point out was the fact that here we have an element, which is the image at the top, and then another element at the bottom. So there's this sort of differentiation, top and bottom, okay? And then again, this image was centralized. It wasn't to the left, it wasn't moved too much to the left or too much to the right. So it was centralized at the top. So there's this sort of balance, and you are not saying, okay, maybe some things are missing at one side. So there's actually balance here. Okay, so also let's look at this. This is there contrast? Hello, Isaac. Maybe I should start calling names now.
There's balance.
Okay, I was asking about contrast.
Okay, contrast. I think there's contrast because it's visible. The texture, the size, and the color they use in the design is okay.
Okay, so let's talk about balance. So again, okay, so there is also balance. So you see on the right hand side and also element on the right hand side and that element on the left hand side. So there's sort of balance going on there. Okay. Now there's something that I also find interesting with the fact where this logo was placed. OP logo was placed. Now it might be that this is where, because every establishment or some brands, not every brand, some brand has their layouts. So this is where our logo will always be. So that will be why that will be their choice of putting their logo here. But then if that is not, why the designer, what I think the designer put this logo here as against putting it here, also that it creates this form of balance. Because if you put this logo here, you find out that there's some sort of space that will appear here. So to make room for that space, not to allow that space, what he did was to place the logo here. You get? So that's an assumption. Again, you see that, you see how they stylishly place this thing here. And then imagine if this was not there, there will be some space here, okay? Or if you imagine just putting everything here. So these are some of the things that we actually put into consideration. Again, there's alignment. You see, there's alignment. If you take a ruler here, you can see alignment. I think let me quickly bring that up on Canva. So on Canva gives you the ability. Let me even use it. So let me show you. Let me bring it. So if I press Shift arrow, so these are the rulers I use. So how do you bring out this ruler? You just come here. Or first of all, show you from your file, go to file, go to view, and then you see show rulers and height and guides. So Shift arrow brings it up. Again, you can do it manually, just drag from here and place it here. So it helps as a guide to just show you, okay, this is where I want everything to be aligned. Get? So alignment is key, it's very important. You see that I follow that this thing all throughout, you see. So alignment is very, very important. You can't take away alignment. So you find out that this was aligned, all this was aligned, even to, except this was put up, but then I understand why this was just put away. But again, you find out that this was also aligned centrally to this. And I think somebody did that. Somebody pointed out in one of his design, one of the assignment, where in the design, so you can put your design into sections. So maybe the top, you can do left alignment here. You can put maybe center alignment at the top, and then you come to the bottom and you do left alignment, right alignment. So you can do it that way. It doesn't necessarily mean that all throughout your design, it has to be left alignment. So let's look at this design. Let's talk about balance. Yes. Obviously, there's no balance. Okay, but I want somebody to point out where you think where the design is lacking balance.
For oh, no. Me, I think the image and the ones on the, because they are too minute that they're not even visible. So I can't tell what they're trying to convey, the message. So from the image and what is on the, that's my opinion.
Okay. Yeah. At the bottom here. Okay. So any other opinion? Trust.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. Say something now.
Okay, so I'm looking at the image,
Yeah.
right? So the girl holding the phone, right?
Yeah.
The phone is more, what's the word now? It's more, you can see the phone more than a hand. And then between the phone too and the devices under the tablets, like they're so close. Like, so there's no balance between, if you look up just above the image where we see log onto WAEC.org, between that and the image of the girl and the tablets below, those three things are, there's no balance between them.
Okay. That's right. Thank you so much for your contributions, Rose and Trust. Also, at this part, you find out that there is a lot of spaces here. You get? Can we see this after this? You get holding the phone, and then you come to the left-hand side here. There's a whole lot of space here, and also at the top here, top right, you see there's a whole lot of space. Okay, so what would have been the idea would have, okay, maybe just use center alignment, maybe the gears at the middle, all these things here also at the middle. So we know that, hey, there is a balance you get. But here, the girl is at the right, your text here is at the left. So there's what is happening here at the top, right, nothing is here. Then also at the bottom left, also you find out that there's nothing here. So there's also a balance here. Okay. Yeah, we also right here. The text here is not too bad, but I think that's where balance is actually missing. Okay. Yeah, I think that is all from this, and this was actually well done. Let me look again at another person. Check this. So let's look at this. Okay, so yeah, what alignment do we think is used here?
Center alignment.
Yeah, center alignment. And everything was used center alignment, except at the bottom here. Can you see it's a demarcation here? What alignment was used here? This bottom here, what alignment was used? So at the bottom here, we use horizontal alignments, okay?
Horizontal.
Yeah, horizontal alignment was used here, and you find out that it was horizontal alignment was used for this section, and then together with this, they give it a center alignment. Okay, so the alignment was cool, the contrast is okay. You also see balance. So for me, this design was cool to go. There was, then again, let's look at this design. So again, let's take a look at this design. You find out that they also there's a good use of reading. So circles were used all throughout. So you can find maybe a circle used here, then a rectangle was used here, another shape was there. The rectangle was used all throughout. And again, they try to give this one more proportion, make it bigger. It's just a style, but then everything, the principles were followed. Then if you look at this design, so let's look at it properly. You find out that they have so alignments, there's alignment, proper use of alignment all throughout. So here we have left alignment. Here we have, it was justified. And with this white scissors, there's also left alignment, right? Then the contrast is good. You have yellow and black. It blends properly, it blends well. Okay. And then again, we have what again? The what can also balance. Okay. There's balance. There's no some sort of imbalance anywhere. You have some things going in your shape here, and there's a shape here, another one here. Then at the bottom here, sorry, at the center here, we also have text going on here, and then the contacts were laid out carefully here. So there's just this harmony going on, and so we have everything in place. Then this design is what one of those that intrigued me, where they make use of reading. Okay, you find out that what was used all throughout was a form of a triangle. Get you see how these triangle shapes were used throughout, and then even here the triangle, a part of it was used here, a part of it here was used here. So there's a form of reading going on here. Then over here they create this. You have business flyer template. You get. Yeah, there's no space, there's no empty space here, or sort of imbalance here. Okay, and then you have your alignment going on here. You have your left vertical alignment. So this is also cool. Then here we have so let's talk about hierarchy. Let's talk about hierarchy here. So which of these, which elements is giving more prominence to, or has more hierarchy here? Yeah, I want Amara, if you're still there, or any other person could also talk. I think this was done by what happened? Cool to Trust. Was this Cool to Trust? No, it was Champions. Yeah, Champion. So yeah, what can we infer from this, and what element was given more hierarchy to?
Modern home for sale.
Thank you.
I think they are trying to make this for the picture there, so they're trying to sell a house or something.
Okay, fine. And then which other elements again? Also, this house was also given more prominence. Okay. Is someone saying something? Okay, so then again, talking about contrast, yes, there's good use of contrast here. And then what again? Yeah, the good use of contrast. There's alignment here, and also at the bottom you also see there's also alignment. Okay. Then there's something I need to also point out. You see the space in between between these elements. So let's take this as one element, this as one element, this as one element. The spaces in between is also equal. I talked about that during when I was shooting alignment, and also talked about how we can also achieve that. Okay. So this was also cool. I also like this design. So you find that you also find reading working playing out here. So let's show you where reading is used. So you see this will I call it, look, let me call it the rectangle, not the square actually. And then we have this curve at the top left and also at the top bottom right. Again, essentially the shape was also used here. So there's this sort of reading going on here, not a different shape, not a cycle. You could use a cycle, but since it's curved, it could also be used it could also blend, but using the fact that it was used, the same sort of style was used, is create this rhythm and this side of excitement about the design. Okay, so we have alignment here, over here, but I think okay, here was this. There's no alignment here. They are using right alignment. If this was aligned right with this, okay, I think because of this text here, that's why they did this right alignment, right vertical alignment to flow with this. Okay, but overall the design was cool. Also, there's good contrast. There's good use of color contrast. It's popping, the white is popping out from the blue that was used. Okay, so I think these two assignments stood out. There was one I saw where there was no good contrast, but I can't figure that one out yet. What, so that we don't spend too much time, I will go back and just complete the class for today. So I'll, for giving us the assignment. Okay, so let's talk about the design process. The design process, how I work. And again, this may not be the same way for every other persons, but 80% of the time, I try to follow the design process. First of all, I know my audience. Who is the audience? Who am I designing for? Is it for young people, for children, for adults, for teachers, for students? Is it for youth? Is it for aged people? So I need to know who this design is for. Okay, that will now help me in my research phase. So I go online and I do research. Okay, I go online and I do research. I try to look for designs that has to do with this audience. So also the team, also knowing the team, I also do the design research about the team. So for if maybe it's a church flyer, so I try to use those keywords from the designs, the keywords from the team. I research for them. I also research for colors that appeal well to this audience. Get, so I do a lot of research. I also research for similar designs that have been used. Okay, I research for similar designs that have been used. So what I do is that what I do is to compile those designs. Okay, I'll be doing that. I'll do that next week, where we take up a design and I'll show you how to create a design from scratch. Okay, so I compile these designs and then I put them in the form of a mood board. Okay, or maybe I could just bring them to Canva. If I'm using Canva to design, I bring them to Canva. All those designs, all those things I picked up, the colors, the designs. I go on places. Again, I also talk about places where I go to. So next week, there are a lot of things I need to talk about. I need to talk the use of colors, where I can get also, where I get images, where I get design inspirations. One of those places is Pinterest. So I go there, I compile those designs and I bring them to Canva. So now what this helps is that it is my inspiration. Now where I missed it before was that I'll just go on this platform and then I just view these designs. I view these designs and I just think I've gotten inspiration. But one thing that is so useful is that I bring this design to my mood board. So what I'll start doing now is what AI does, what AI will also actually be doing in whatever feed. So I go, okay, I like the way these colors were, this combination of colors, and then I try to maybe imply them, use them as design. I like the way how this shape was used here. Then I try to, okay, I like how they do the layout. Okay, the text was there, image was here, this thing was the contact buttons, or yeah, the contacts were here. I picked that layout. And then again, so I begin to pick different things from different designs, and then I use that as inspiration to create my own design, to build my own design. Okay. Again, you also see how that works next week. Then the next thing I do is to start editing. Okay. So, and again, while I'm doing this, when I'm building the design, I'm following the principles of graphic design. I'm following those principles. That's what differentiates. Even if that's again, it differentiates you just watching someone doing it. Now you understand it. While I'm doing it, you understand, okay, this is why I'm doing what I am doing. I'm putting this way because why? So that it actually gives a form of balance, or because of alignment, or because of hierarchy. Then the next thing I do, like I said, is to edit. So I edit this design. So how am I editing it? I'm editing to check, am I following all those principles? That's one. Two is maybe the text I was giving, are there typographical errors? Are there errors? What kind of errors again? I'm just checking, just trying to look at the design again. Is this actually giving that vibe, that feeling, or is it in line with the brief I was giving? Yet it was to do a design for XYZ. Does this design fulfill the purpose? Okay, so I try to do that edit my own self. Like and this is one of the things I saw fascinating during the Bible creation. I say God is a designer. When he said it was good in his eyes, after God has created the world, he looked and said, and this was good in his eyes. So, like I think it was Rose that said that one of the greatest asset of a designer is your eyes. You have to see, you have to visualize, see it and see how pleasing it is. And that's one of the biggest assets of a graphic designer. So I try to make sure that, hey, this thing is actually feeling good. And if it's not vibing, it's not feeling good, one thing you could do, and it's so important, just leave the design. Leave the design, just do other things, maybe walk around, just leave it first. And then when you come back with a fresh perspective, and then you begin to see things from a different view, and you can actually pinpoint some things that your design is lacking. Then the next thing I do, I present my work to a client, or I want to post on social media. So these steps could happen within 10 minutes. Sometimes it's so urgent. It could happen within 30 minutes. Sometimes it could happen within 1 hour. It could happen within weeks. You get. And then if I have issues, I go back and then try to go back to these different steps and look for, okay, maybe my audience, I didn't actually get the audience correctly. I'm actually designing for children. So why would I be using a format text again? So maybe my research, I didn't research well, or wasn't research enough. So I go more and do more research. And yeah, that is how I do it. And it's really, really helpful. Okay, I give you examples. Design has not been posted out. I'd like to share it. So we want to design it was a career form of designs for people, for job seekers. So after doing the design, the first one, it's the same way I followed it. They were not comfortable with the design. So I said, okay, no problem. I just give some time. I went back again. It was the same audience, but this time I did more research. I went into more research, look for more designs, look for more colors, because one of the issues was the color was not popping enough. Fine. So I look for more colors that is more pleasing, that it's according to them was more visually appealing here. So I researched for more color combinations, and then I brought it together again and I created it. And then wow, it wowed them. So these steps I use, yeah, like I said, 80% of the time, and it works fine. So yes, I think that should be a wrap for today. And I want to know again, what will I take out from today's session? What are we learning differently? What are we going to be applying? So before I give the assignment, again, the assignment I told you, I've talked about the assignment already. I'll be sending the assignment before the end of tomorrow. Either I send it today to the group. It requires us to also design. But what you'll be designing is just maybe shapes, arranging shapes. So it's not proper design, except one of them. And that was one I showed you yesterday. I can stop sharing this. Recording. Yeah, let me stop recording.